5,000. The S&P just finally poked over it. We made it to 5,040 cents today. So what is it? It's a bull party. And as we know, there ain't no party like a bull party. This is a historic number. A lot of times people on Wall Street are going to say it only counts when it gets over that on a closing basis, but I'm going to say it is close enough. Congratulations to the bulls. And if you remember, we talked about ARM yesterday. Whoa. I thought it was up a lot yesterday when it was at about 90. Well, from the open, it pushed up all the way to 126, which means that on the day, we were as high as about 65%. We're settling here at about 50, solidly over $100. And this looks eerily similar to what happened to NVIDIA, where we're leaving a big old hole. And I think a lot of people thought, oh my goodness, the stock is gapping up. It's time to sell it. Well, that was wrong. The stock continued to go higher. So if you look back over here to NVIDIA, man, what an impressive move. That's all the way back here. It didn't really thrust as higher, but NVIDIA is a much bigger stock. Ultimately, it stair-stepped higher and then legged up, which is where we are now. If we look to super microcomputer, sorry. Oh my goodness. Similar note here. We got a gap. We got to go. This stock has crushed it. It has gone so much higher. So what happened? Well, after it got over its all-time high, man, it just chugged higher. So chips are leading tech. Tech is leading SPY. But there's a lot of sectors which are being left in the dust. So let's go through and find out exactly what happened today. So as I mentioned, there ain't no party like a bull party. And when we look here to the heat map, you'd be like, what? The market actually went to a new all-time high? Yeah, there's not really all that much. It's really strong here. So we can note that there's some mixed sectors, but there's a lot of red. So what exactly drove it? Well, you might be surprised. It's just that the big blocks are not deep red, and a lot of things just really treaded water. The market didn't really make a huge move today. We're up by $2.50. We're up here by 22 cents on SPY. And that'll be about $2 over on the on SPX. So anyways, I'm going to ask you for a huge favor. If you could please consider smashing the thumbs up and subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much for your support ahead of time. I appreciate it. Now, what I want to do is go over here to our calendar of events for the week, and we can note that we're pretty much through the earnings week now. We closed out Jerome Powell. We had the auction yesterday. We have the final auction today, which means that we're through all the rest of the really important data. And why does this matter? Well, because I was looking for a failed breakout, and instead the market just went up, up, up. So what does that mean? It means that now the only thing that's going to really matter is where we're going to go into a close on Friday. Notably, now that we're back above 75, we pushed even higher to 77. This is good because it appears like this time's different, where we go down, dead cat bounce, and get back up into extreme greed. Dead cat bounce, again, we just fail. Well, this time we actually legged up. Now we're over here at 77. That's progress. And like I mentioned, at 77, this looks pretty good. As long as we remain over 75, I would say I'm looking for more of a squeeze. And then the other thing we want to talk about is just, where is it here? The Fed rate probability. So on the weekend, we were sitting here at about 62%. And now, as of right now, we're sitting here at about 82. So this is really interesting because what we talked about was, if this number goes higher, then the market usually goes down. Well, that didn't happen this week. So we had two bond auctions. We went up to 82%, and that seems really funky. So let's go over here and look at some weekly charts. But just before I do that, what I want to also point out is that we've now made a higher high, and we've also made a higher low. So if we go here to our candles, trying to repeat the pattern that we're looking for, if we're going to get a breakout, what I would like to see tomorrow is a higher low, a higher high, and closing over the candle high. We closed slightly below today's high of the day, which means that I basically want to see SPY run to 500. Tomorrow we have options. Let's see whether or not this greed actually manifests into some price action that's going to lead to people bidding, right? Bidding it up all the way to 500. Let's see what happens. All right. And now we want to pay attention to a couple of weekly charts because this is what really matters in my opinion. So if we look here to the S&P, we're currently up by about 0.8% on the week. We're throttling it here. We're right on resistance. So we're over 492, which means that we're over our monthly higher high. And this looks pretty constructive. On a week, we're over last week's high with higher lows and higher highs. And we've only actually had one full week ever since this rip started here. So this really reminds me of that graph we showed yesterday where if we're going to repeat what happened post-Volcker, then it means that we're likely going to keep going higher and higher and higher into April. Let me just pull up that chart here really fast. One more second, because I think this is really important here. Probably should have had this ready ahead of time. Sorry about that. Here we go. Got it. So with this graph that we talked about, what I am going to be watching for is just basically higher lows and higher highs. And if we keep doing that and we got hollow candles and we're closing over candle highs, the expansion continues. This seems pretty simple. And it is simple because the market's pretty much ignoring everything else. So if we delete everything here, what do we have? Well, pretty much all higher lows and higher highs. We have one corrective wave, which is just 1 week, and then right back to up. So, oh my goodness, this looks really strong. It does. Flipping over here to QQQ or the NASDAQ, what do we have? Well, basically the same thing, where we have one red week and a full candle. Otherwise, it's all a nonstop bid higher. But we need to see this market broaden out and go to other sectors because we can't do this alone. So let's look at RSP. I didn't prepare this ahead of time, but I'm curious now. So we see 2 red weeks, but basically only one other red one. And then otherwise, it's mostly all hollow. But the part that's missing is actually going to a new all-time high here for RSP. It's awfully close, so we don't have that much more to go. And as we noted yesterday, XLV is actually now all the way up here, new all-time highs. So we've got quite a few blue sky stocks. And this is what I'm going to focus on for tomorrow's end of day stream. So come hang out with me if you want to. We got the NASDAQ in blue sky territory. Let's just hide these. NASDAQ in blue sky territory. We got SMH in blue sky territory. Whoa, just booming. Yep. And then we got VGT, also technology. We've got XLK, right? We got a lot of stocks here. We've got the Dow Jones, right? We got the DAX. We got insurance. Oh, wow. There's like a lot of stocks here. Yeah, we got Berkshire Hathaway in blue sky territory, right? We got Apple, Microsoft, TJX, NVIDIA, Constellation Brands, Interactive Brokers, Caterpillar, Supermicro. And when these stocks break out to new highs, as we've noted before, it just means that it gets even easier for us to keep going higher. So let's have a look here at IAK, which is going to be a insurance ETF here. So come on, TradingView, load the chart, please. I'm being patient. There we go. So if we have a look here, as soon as we break out to a new high, man, the expansion's just continued. We're pretty much going straight higher. So as more and more stocks continue to join the all-time high club, I would be looking for all of the different ETFs to actually join. Notably, I'm looking at RSP, but also here too NYA. NYA is going to be the New York Stock Exchange, which includes 2,000 stocks. And look, they're awfully close here. So not everything is created equal, but if this is truly going to be a bull market where we're going to see months of continued more upside, let me pull that image back up. This goes all the way out here to April. So it's only February. We got February, March, April. That's 3 months. So we got 3 more candles. Let's see some higher highs. All right, there you go. If you want to watch the weekend deep dive, that's now queued up here on the left-hand side. If not, subscribe to the channel on the right and come hang out for the final hour with me tomorrow starting at 3 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.